Hey guys, Technomentary with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about iOS 15, everything that we know so far and what you can expect from iOS 15 that's going to be coming out this year, later in the year. Everything you need to know in this video, we're going to tell you guys everything that's there to know. But before we go ahead and get started, if you guys are new to our channel, we do a lot of tech news, reviews, and giveaways. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you guys are in the market for one of the newer phones like the iPhone 11 or the 12 lineup, make sure you guys check out the link in the description section. So let's go ahead and talk about iOS 15. So iOS 15 is definitely happening. It's going to be coming out in late in the year, around probably the September timeframe when iPhone 13 lineup is released. We know that in June, around June 7th to June 11, when Apple has the 2021 World Developer Conference, they're going to be debuting iOS 15 to be able to be tested in the beta version and all the features that come with it. And along with that, a lot of things are going to change, and we're going to talk about that. But first thing, we want to talk about the device that aren't going to be supported anymore. So as you can see here, we have the iPhone SE, the first generation, not the second one. This is the 2016 model. This one is able to get iOS 14, but unfortunately they're going to be dropping the support for this one on iOS 15 when it comes out. Other devices that are going to not be supported on iOS 15 is the iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus, which isn't surprising because the iPhone 6 only goes up to iOS 12. So expect the 6s and the 6s Plus not getting the iOS 15 update. And then a couple other things, if you're looking about iPad iOS 15, you're probably not going to be supported on the Mini 4, the Air 2, and the 5th generation of the regular iPad are not going to be supported on iOS 14. So let's talk about some of the features that we know so far that's going to be coming to iOS 15. The first one is smarter Siri. So what's been happening with Siri is that over time, Siri seems to be a little bit behind compared to its competitor, the Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa, and it seems to be giving a lot of wrong answers. And we're going to see a redesign and improvement to a smarter Siri. Hopefully, it's better than Alexa and Google Assistant. In some scenario and testing, it just seems to be giving the wrong answer. So that's feature number one that's going to be coming with iOS 15. Next thing, it's going to be a redesign of the maps itself. So the map doesn't seem to be going on a lot, but there's been a massive improvement with iOS 14. And one improvement we're going to see is the option expanding to cycling. So now you're going to have a cycling option that wasn't available before. Along with the cycling is going to be these tours, guided tours that are available for the guides. So if you're visiting somewhere, you're going to see the side by side of the guides that allow you to really enhance the map experience, because in the past it wasn't available. Next thing we're going to mention for the feature is going to be around the Translate app. So this Translate app was released. It's a default app, part of iOS 14 that came out, but it's sort of limited in terms of the languages that you're able to utilize. It's currently, as you can see, there's about 12 languages or so that were initially in the default app, but with iOS 15 we expand that to be much more languages coming on board. We're not quite exactly sure what the newer languages are going to be, but expect that they're going to add features for more languages in the Translate app, which is a really cool app because you're able to do on the fly text to speech and being able to translate, especially if you're a person that translate or traveling a lot. So we expect a redesign of that. The other redesign we're going to see is the redesign of the actual control menu here. Of course, the control menu has been similar on iOS 13 and 14. So expect Apple is going to redesign that slightly to be a little bit better in terms of what it is, especially with the app icons and much more coming to it. So something along the lines of seeing sort of this design that we found some pictures of that has been rumored around, where you're going to have app widget into the control center. So when you pull out the control center, it's going to have a lot more feature going on, a little bit of redesign there. And the next thing we're going to see in terms of redesign is the lock screen. As you see, Apple hasn't done much with the lock screen. It's been pretty much the same since iOS 13 and such, with 14 as well. So we're probably going to see a lock screen redesign. Along with the lock screen design is that, as you saw, the phone turns off, is going to be that always on display, which we see a lot of Android phones have, where it has the clock and the date as well. With the iPhone, it just after 30 seconds or so, it locks it and it goes dark. But we're going to see a redesign of the lock screen and that possibly always on display coming into play. Another redesign we're probably going to see is the setting. The setting has been pretty much the same for a couple of generations of the iOS releases, and it's probably a time for a redesign of that. So expect it to be another redesign of the settings. Another redesign or sort of improvement we're going to see is around the app widgets. The app widgets have been released on iOS 14, which seems to be the biggest feature of iOS 14, but they're sort of limited in terms of what you can do. Of course, there's the app library. You're able to add these sides of icon, but it's not as interactive. So we expect it to be more interactive with iOS 15 coming on. And then, of course, the last feature that it's going to be something that should be game changing, where it's sort of rumored right now, but we hope Apple is going to be adding this feature on it, and it's that virtual on-screen touch ID. Face ID is great and all, but it just seems that it's sort of limited. It sort of creates this issue, especially now when you need to use on-screen touch ID, because if you have sort of something covering your face or mask on, Face ID doesn't seem to work, because it doesn't recognize it. Even if you try to set up an alternate face and such, it makes things a little bit complicated. If we could have touch ID on screen, it's sort of revolutionary. It's probably one of the biggest feature Apple fans have been asking for, and we hope to see that. So those are sort of the updates we have for you guys running for iOS 15 that's debuted to come out later in September, and we hope those features are making. If there's more features that are coming out, of course we'll jump on and let you guys know that once they're released, sort of figure out. And once iOS 15 does come out, we're going to be updating a lot of the phones that support iOS 15 to show you guys how iOS 15 is and if it's something you should upgrade to. We're going to test all of that and much more in the later videos to come, and that's why it's important that you hit that subscribe button, of course like button if this video was interesting and helpful in any ways. Also, anything you have heard in terms of newer features coming to iOS 15 that we didn't mention in this video, go ahead, leave a comment in the comment section with those rumors or features that you think or would even like for Apple to develop on iOS 15 and much more. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.